I'm Hannah, I'm Scribe Senior Accountant, and thank you very much for downloading our free budget spreadsheet. Just a quick tutorial to take you through how it works. So I set this spreadsheet up around 3 or 4 years ago when we recognised there was a need for some of the council clerks we were talking to. They didn't have something like this to help them with their forecasting and their budgeting. Since that time, we've enhanced Scribe significantly, so it now has the ability to forecast, and you can enter in your budget figures and do lots of more work around that. But we still appreciate that this spreadsheet is well used and lots of people like to have access to it. So as we can see here then, we have got the budget looking ahead for 24-25, but in order to think about that budget, we want to create a forecast for the current year itself. So over here on the left, I've broken it down to my different areas based on different sections such as admin, grounds maintenance, allotments, and then they're broken down to the codes below. If you have a similar budget on a 2-tier system, you can put in your own codes in there, but if you just have more of a list of budget lines, you can obviously insert more as you need to. Remember, this example is just covering payment budgets, but you can do the same for income and forecast that income as well if you want to. Then in column C, we've got the budget for the year itself. So this is the total annual budget against each of these budget lines. Then we've got our actuals so far. So I'm assuming that at this point you'll have 6 months worth of actuals for April to September, and you can fill that in as one total taken from your current cash book. And then we're thinking about forecasting those months that as of yet haven't happened, and therefore we need to forecast going forwards. So in this example, we've got October to March, and it's just a case of working through, putting those figures in for each of the months of what you expect to happen. So this is your forecasted expectations for these months ahead. Remember to be realistic. A forecast is a real estimate of what's going to happen, even if it looks like a budget line is going to be overspent, because you want to get a real feel for what the end of year will look like. Once you've done that, the spreadsheet will total for you. So the total is your actuals, column D, plus your forecasted 6 months of October to March. So this total is your expected end of year position. So what does it look like? We think it's going to end up as at the end of March. We can then see that we've got column M is our variance. So this is the budget, so the annual budget of this year versus what we think is going to happen, the expected end of year position, to give us our variance. That then allows us to start thinking ahead to next year's budget, so to identify what we might need to change or look at in terms of the budget. So if we're overspent, do we need to reflect that going forward in next year's budget, or do we understand the reasons for that and it might not be repeated? That then allows us to start completing O with our proposed budget for next year, so we can start to look ahead and think about what we might need to change or what that budget will look like. We've also got the option to add comments in here, so it's also really useful to record notes of things that are known about next year. You may have some figures such as the phone bill, you know how much that is, so you can put that figure in easily, or record decisions that you've made or notes that you want to recall as you work through that budget. I hope you find it really useful. Thanks for watching.